Hey everyone, what's going on? My name's Arch Live, and in today's video, we're going to be discussing the latest post from Goris regarding the Payday 2 console versions on Xbox One and PS4. Now, there isn't a great deal to talk about in this Steam post, so as a result, I thought I'd slide in a bit of X news that I've just found out regarding Overkill The Walking Dead. Now, I'll leave that to the end of the video, because I know people will mainly have clicked on for the Payday 2 stuff, but I figured since it's more console version news to do with an Overkill game, it would be good to slide it in, because when Overkill The Walking Dead does release, I do plan to do some videos on it, so we'll get to that later, but we'll cover the Steam post first. But just before I do that, very quickly, just want to remind everyone about the Q&A I'm going to be doing for 4,000 subscribers. I've mentioned it in a couple of videos already, but this is the final time I'm going to remind people, because very soon I'm going to be recording it. So if anyone has any questions to that Q&A, you can ask whatever you want, Payday related, non-Payday related. It really doesn't matter to me. Leave them down below in the comment section of this video. Send me them on Twitter, send me them on Xbox, wherever is best for you. Get your questions in. Let me know what you want me to answer, and I will answer as many questions as I can, if not all of them, in the Q&A video, which I will post either next week or the week after, depending on what happens with video plans going forward. To kick this off, let's look at the post that Goris has put on the Steam thread. Now, I'm starting to notice with Goris's posts that he's put them up on Friday afternoons, which, as you can probably guess, is not that ideal for me, because I put my videos up on Friday evenings. And it's not very easy to make a video out of something that he posts and get it up about an hour after he's posted the information. So I'm starting to think that he's going to start posting things like an hour or two before I make videos. If he carries on doing that, I may well move uploads to Saturdays. I don't know, I'll have to see, but I just thought I'd put that out there, and I want to know you guys' thoughts on that, whether you'd be happy with that, sad with that, whatever you guys think about that, let me know, and I might change the date, because this was put up at 5:27 PM last Friday, and my videos go up at 7, so, you know, it wouldn't make sense for me to be able to make a video that fast. And since the last update video I did was 2 weeks ago, it's worth just reminding everybody of what happened in that last video, which was when Goris confirmed that Crime Spree, Team AI, Storyline, and Continental Coins were all in development and all coming, hopefully, in the next console update for Payday 2 on Xbox One and PS4. So with that in mind, Goris' latest post reads, "Hi Heisters, we have been making progress with the features mentioned last time. Also decided to take a closer look at the matchmaking system, since it is also affected by this next update, to see if we can change it a bit to make it work better. As for when it will be released, it's not easy to tell at the moment, but it won't be released in less than a month." Now, there is more to this Steam post. He's talking about the toxicity in that thread, and it is getting quite out of hand, so I'm kind of glad he said something. I've just stopped reading everything else apart from Goris at this point, because I don't want to see half the stuff that's being posted in there. So he talked a little bit about that, and then also said to someone at the bottom, which I thought was worth mentioning, someone called Claymore5793 was quoted saying that Overkill apparently promised everyone the world when it came to console versions. And I just want to clear this up for anyone who thinks that. Overkill are not promising that they'll be completely up to date with PC at any point. They're not promising that we'll get every single piece of DLC that PC has. The main purpose of this Steam thread, the main purpose of the console update, is to get us as close as possible to PC within all the technical restraints that Overkill have importing things to consoles. It isn't easy for them. They're a smaller company, and I don't know whether it's the technology doesn't run as well on consoles or there's something behind the scenes, but it's not as easy to get stuff over, so they can't literally put everything over. It's like I've said in the past, I don't think safes and skins will ever come over. The safe house seems to be a struggling point. We don't know what that's going to happen, whether that's going to happen at all. I wouldn't really mind too much if it didn't, but some people would, so, you know, that's a bit of a rocky topic, but it's just something to keep in mind, because he has said, "We do not promise to add or fix everything listed, and it may take a while to update. We may even split it into more updates." He's made it quite clear, so for anyone who's concerned over that, make sure that you're aware that he's not trying to get us completely up to date if it's beyond technical expectations. They're just doing the best that they can. But regardless of that little side note, the main things to talk about here and to take away is that there are no actual hitches yet in the update progress, which is good, because we've had testing issues in the past with certain bits of content. We've had little bugs and things that cause things to be delayed in making updates, so it's really good to hear that things are coming along nicely. But the thing I want to look at really specifically here is that he said that they've taken a closer look at the matchmaking system, since it's also affected by the next update. It's not saying there's any bugs regarding matchmaking that need fixing, although matchmaking isn't the most stable on the console versions, specifically Xbox One. I don't really know about PS4, but those of you who played on Xbox One and played at launch know that the matchmaking was broken for a few months after the game came out, so, you know, maybe they're going to address that a tiny bit, but I think the main reason they're doing that is probably because of Crime Spree, because they're going to have to work the way the matchmaking works out and how different level Crime Spree players can join each other's games and how that will all work out. So maybe as a result they're having a look at matchmaking. It would be nice to see Xbox One get a bit more of a touch up. I don't think it'll ever get back to the old days where you could go onto CrimeNet and see all the lobbies and click on them, because that just didn't work on Xbox for some reason. So I don't really know what they're planning to do there, but any matchmaking improvements are good in my book. And then finally, the release date thing. Well, it's not worth being overly optimistic about this just yet. I do like the wording he chose there in saying that it won't be released in less than a month. Now, I said from the start of the last few videos that I've been doing that basically I think the next update will drop before the end of 2018. I think it's a very realistic goal to go for. It's a very optimistic one. but not overly so. You've got a good 4 months left of development before the update can be released, and it makes sense to have about that length of a window. There was a bit of a bigger gap between the master plan and the most recent update, because the one before that just was fixing things like field of view and stuff like that. We don't really count that update too much from February, so hopefully there's a smaller gap, but I think getting it before Christmas would make sense, and I think it's more than possible. So hopefully they'll manage to keep up to that and keep up the time frame, but at the minute, we just got to keep an eye on it, see where it goes. But I like that he said not happening in less than a month, because it means that it could be in the next month or two when we see it. Don't get your hopes up just yet until we got more solid information, but it's something worth considering. But that's all there is to talk about regarding Goris' post. There isn't anything else to discuss here, and I'm not going to sit here milking it to try and extend the video any longer. There's no point to that. But what I also want to talk about, as I've already mentioned, is something regarding Overkill The Walking Dead, because it does impact the console versions of the game, and as you guys know, I play these games on console and plan to make videos on them, and for those of you who didn't know, I am planning on making some content on Overkill The Walking Dead when it releases. But when it's releasing is the point of discussion in this little bit of the video, which I'm going to use by quoting a tweet from Overkill The Walking Dead Twitter account, which reads, "Survivors, Overkill The Walking Dead has an updated launch date, February for PS4 and Xbox online and in stores. We'll support this new release plan with post-launch content and extra tweaks based on community feedback, making an even more awesome launch. If you're at Gamescom, come and play today in Hall 9. Now, Overkill The Walking Dead has had a booth in Gamescom for the last few days. The things people are saying there seem really good, but it could be they're just quoting people who are being positive and leaving out people who aren't, because I've looked at multiple bits of gameplay from E3, etc. for Overkill The Walking Dead, and the comment sections are very negative. I haven't seen anything regarding the positivity of the game, so hopefully there are more good things to say about that than what the comments are saying about gameplay, but that's not the point of discussion here. The point of discussion is that the PC release date for the game stays the same. It's still dropping in November for PC on Steam, which is on November 6th or 9th, I think it was, depending on what region you're in. I think in the EU it was the 9th, and in the US it was the 6th or something like that. Doesn't really matter. The point is consoles have been pushed back by 4 months. The reasons for that, who knows? They haven't told us, they haven't given us any information regarding it, probably because they're not the best with consoles. Consoles don't work their software the way they want them to, or whatever the hell the technical glitches are based that probably cause the same issues as Payday 2. Seems like they're going to be a recurring thing in Overkill The Walking Dead, which doesn't fill me with optimism. It's like I'm going to sit here and slander Overkill because that's just the way it is and I'm used to it at this point, but I'm not best pleased about it either, because I was hoping to make content on it at launch and cover loads of stuff so that PC versions didn't get ahead of me on something for once. I wanted to put something up so that everyone could see gameplay, everyone could talk about it, and we could try and bring the community together even more. What concerns me about this whole thing is that if the game itself does end up being a flop the way World War II was, then by the time February swings around, the game will be irrelevant. And I'm so concerned about that. I really hope it isn't a flop, because I want it to be a good game and I want to play it a lot. But that is a concern that's nagging in the back of my head, and I'm not really too sure what to think about it. The thing to note is that they've said they'll support the release plan with post-launch content and extra tweaks. The way they worded it is a bit dodgy, but what I think they're saying is that when it comes out on consoles, it'll include any DLC that PC has had up to that point. So any extra free patches and tweaks and things like that will be included when the game launches on consoles. As for DLC, I don't know whether they'll release it and make you pay for it. If they've released the paid DLC by that point, I don't know about that part. That's just a bit of a grey area right now. But, you know, it's something to keep in mind. If they do release it in February and it's up to date with PC at that point, then they'll make up for it, and I won't be as kind of frustrated by the idea, because at least we'll be completely up to date, and going forward, hopefully when they put new updates out, they'll release on PC and console simultaneously. I don't really know whether that'll be what happens. I'm not the most optimistic about it, because you've got to be aware that some things don't always go the way you want them to go, but it's something to keep in mind and something to kind of, you know, just keep in the back of your head. But the point is, I do still plan on making videos in this game. I do want to do them. I want to put them up, live stream the game, do videos on it, whatever is necessary, whatever I want to do, whatever you guys want to see. But basically now I'll have to wait till February until I can do that. If the game is no longer relevant by that point, then I don't really know what we'll do, but we'll just have to see as it goes and just make a decision later in the year and maybe closer into 2019, just see what happens. But either way, your thoughts on both the Payday 2 update and this situation with Overkill The Walking Dead will be very much appreciated. But for Overkill The Walking Dead, what I also want to know is what do you guys think about the game itself, because as I've said, I've looked through a number of comments on YouTube videos and I couldn't find a positive comment in there. I looked through a good 50-60 in a couple of videos and I didn't see anything positive, so I'm worried about that. But I want to know what you guys think, because sometimes people hating on YouTube videos is something that happens a lot. I mean, look at Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. It wasn't the best game, but the hate it got was far more than it deserved. So it could be that people are being overly negative about it. They haven't played it themselves like the people have at Gamescom. So maybe things have changed a little bit. I'm not too sure, but I want to know what you guys think down in the comments section below. But other than that, that rounds up today's video. I've covered both of the things I wanted to talk about for Payday 2 and for Overkill The Walking Dead. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and if you have, please do leave a thumbs up on the video. It's very much appreciated, and subscribe if you're new. But I want to know all your thoughts on the Payday 2 update, of the status of what's coming next and the release date. Do you still think it will release in 2018? Do you think it's going to be sooner than I think? Do you think it'll be later? Let me know what you think about that, and also the things I've talked about on Overkill The Walking Dead. As always, let's get some discussions going in the comment section below. And I don't reply to every comment the way I used to, because we're starting to get more than I'm used to, but know that I do read every single one. When I see them, I scroll through them and have a read. If I don't have a chance to reply to them, I apologize, but I do read the comments. But anything you have to say at all, leave it down in the comment section below. I'll read through it. It's very interesting to hear what you guys think, and especially for this video, I'll be really interested to see opinions. But as always, thank you guys very much for watching this video. It is very much appreciated. If you did enjoy it, please consider giving it a thumbs up. On the screen now, I'm going to have 2 videos and a subscribe link. If you want to subscribe if you haven't already, and you're interested to stick around and help us get to 5k by the end of the year. But the 2 videos you'll see on there is last week's Stream Highlights Volume 1, which went down really well with the people who watched it, but I put a lot of time into editing it. If you haven't seen it, I would very much appreciate you going and giving it a view. And also, I'll leave a link to last night's stream where we played The Sims 4 and recreated the Payday gang in it. Went down quite well, quite a lot of people swung out and watched it, and it was really, really a good time, and I'm really glad everyone did enjoy it. So if you'd like to check that stream out, it's had quite a lot of views since the stream actually finished and processed, which isn't something that normally happens for my streams, so I'm guessing people want to watch the video. So if you do, there's a link on the video as well. You can click on that and go watch that as well if you're interested. And if you are, there'll be another Sim stream next Thursday night. But other than that, thank you all very much for watching. As I've said, very much appreciated to leave a thumbs up if you've enjoyed, and subscribe if you're new. And other than that, guys, take it easy. I'll see you all in the next video.